Hello, I'm Stevie.
And I'm Eloise.
Today we're joined by Michael Brown from Brownie Photography, who's a sports photographer who works with Stevenage Women's FC, as well as also being a freelancer. So first, can you just tell us a bit about your job, what you do, how did you get there?
My job in football, about 4 seasons ago now, I'd stopped playing football myself. I was playing Saturdays at Kent level. I was never a great footballer. I've always been a better coach. And I went into a scaffold team for the development of youth players, and it didn't work out. But the owner kept me around. I was really lucky, and one day he just said, "Oh, look, like we need someone to take some profile photos for the players." And at the time, my ex-partner, her sister, was a photographer, so she lent me a camera. And it sort of went from there. It sort of became a hobby. And I really liked it, and even though I kept coaching and I went into different things, I just kept taking it on until not last season, the season before, I joined a Saturday League team, and I went in with the idea of being a coach during the midweek, and on the Saturday I would do the media, and it just took off from there, and it was really good. And then obviously lockdown happened. I met a guy named Joe Doherty, who plays for Cray Valley. He got them to the first round of the FA Cup. And at the time they offered me to come and be their photographer, but I was still very amateur. And I got them a pro photographer, and they let me, I asked if I could do their women's team. Funny enough, I did some stuff with their women's team, and then a gentleman I know on Instagram was really nice, and he tagged Charlton under-21s captain in my stuff. And she got in contact with me, and my involvement in women's football just sort of went from there to a whirlwind. I've gone from just being friendly with Carl Davey, who's obviously the first team manager, who was first team manager at Charlton, to being best friends with him. And then obviously some things happened at Charlton, so I got asked if I could coach. I took that on board, and then when he moved to Stevenage, I was like the first call, which was great. And I'm loving my time at Stevenage at the minute, and it's great.
It's great. I was actually going to ask you what inspired you to get into photography, but you sort of kind of answered it there. But I mean, what sort of did inspire you in terms of the photos you've taken? Have you got a particular photo that you're most proud of, or something that's your most memorable time?
To be honest, I just wanted to just pick it up as a hobby. Like I knew that my football career was coming to an end. Like I knew that I couldn't play anymore. I was, like I said, I was the greatest footballer. But in photography wise, I don't know. I don't know if it was just something that I just really enjoyed. I've got 3 little girls myself, and my middle child would follow me everywhere. I just enjoyed taking photos of her, if I was honest, on the pitch. And every club she's been at, she's got this shirt. She's walked out with players. She gets to be friendly with them. I'm really lucky to all the clubs that have ever taken me on and have given my daughter that time. But as I went on, it was just something that I was like, oh my God, I'm actually quite good at this. And I don't think I've got a favourite photo. I think I've got photos that I've really photos that I've always wanted to get, and I'm really passionate about them. I think there's a Sunday League one where the guy is absolutely celebrating, and like the club that he plays for, it's West Wickham. They always use it. But the thing I enjoy most about photography is that if anyone who does it, I always give about 2,000 photos. I try to give everyone a photo. Even if they don't play, they get at least a photo in the warm-up or in the huddle. And it's the joy they get from that. When I was playing football, never had that. If someone come and take photos, I would be begging to get at least a photo of me and Kit. So I think that's like my thing for photography. But I also expand into media. I do I do a podcast. I've learned how to do a podcast over the last thing. I do my own interviews. I just like it. I like learning. I like expanding. If there's something to learn and do, I want to learn it. And I've been really lucky. I've met some really great people, and at Stevenage now, Ed, who does all the media there, oh my God, I'm so thankful for him, because he's given me another reason to just keep learning. So we're doing things like micing people up. So I bought a mic so the coach can go out and just get mic'd up, and it's just him talking. And there's so many little things that it's expensive though as well. To be honest, it's more expensive than coaching. Coaching badges are cheaper.
And then in terms of men and women's football, is there a difference? Do you prefer taking photographs as women's football or men's football?
No, I really don't. If I'm very honest, I enjoy like youth football in a sense of like there's so much more passion and they're so more carefree. You know, the way I look at it is like as long as you're happy and playing, that's great. Like, I've been to some games, and it's not been enjoyable for the players, and you can see that when you're taking photos, and the coach in me just wants to sort of help, but I have to take that away. I'm very lucky that I have a nice clientele. Whether it's women, men's or women, women's football is forever growing, and it's great. And the more coverage it gets, it's fantastic. I know that, but I can tell you right now that there's no difference between men and women when they get photos or videos. They're all exactly the same. They all want the photos, they all want the videos, and it's great. Like when we finished at Charlton, we had VO, or I had VO from one of the clubs I was working for, and a few players, I made them highlights reels, and I've never, I never asked for anything, but it was another lesson to learn. But they're so thankful, and they give you all the credit, and it's great.
Great. I mean, you've spoken a little bit about how you got involved, obviously, in the women's game, and also with Stevenage. So where do you sort of see yourself progressing with what you're doing? As you say, you've gone a little bit into podcasts and sort of interviews.
Yeah, that was something we did with Cole, who just wanted to. Cole Davey, the manager of Stevenage, during the last lockdown, he wanted to do something because obviously he was a bit bored. He runs a goal centre, and and it was like, what can we do? That was great to learn. I think if anyone ever wants to go look at it, it's called Unorthodox. But we started out really poorly with one camera, not knowing anything. And I think after like 6 or 7 weeks, we got Sharin, who is vice captain at Millwall, who is excellent, by the way. And we took it from one camera, one mic to like lights, setting it out properly, and people were walking in like it was a proper studio. And I was like, it's all just, and it was out of my own pocket, it was out of my own time. Like, we invested in another camera, we invested in more mics. But with Stevenage, it's brilliant. I can't thank Joe and Danny, who obviously run the scene down there, enough for letting Carl take the reins. And I can't thank Carl enough. He was, like I said, I was the first person he called in. I'm just a coach down there. There is an assistant in place, and there's another coach. But we came in when they were sort of at a low. They hadn't won a game, and Carl came in, and there was just an instant bounce. And we've only lost one sort of friendly, which we probably won't talk about because the ref was appalling that day. But the girls have come in, and they've bought into what we're sort of giving them. It's not too much. It's not overselling it. We're not giving them too much information. Some players are playing in the wrong positions, but it's just the little tweaks. And I think Stevenage this year is going to go above and beyond where they should be. And they've got great things in place. I'm involved in lots of aspects. I don't do the media, but I'm involved in the media. I'm involved in the coaching aspects. It's me and Cole that have to travel from South East London every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday. So I'm always with Carl, and it's nice to just see a club that's trying. There's no budget in place neither, so it's obviously all done out of our free time. But that club is going to go places. It's mad to think that they were not in a good position with some of the players they have, and they have some great characters down there as well. Some great players as well.
And finally, what advice would you give to someone who wants to get more involved with sports photography?
I get this. I actually have had this a few times, and there's like people that just message me. It's random because for me, I'm always thinking that I'm like the bottom, and I know, like, I'm going to name drop. I know lots of great people like Touchline P or Dave Cumberbatch, who are brilliant people and they're pros. And when I first started, I asked Touchline P. And now people are asking me. It's mad. Look, the advice I would give you is just get a camera, make sure you know how to use it, buy a long lens, because at the beginning I was just using a short lens, and it was ridiculous. But never stop. Like, I do football. I'm really lucky that I've got a friend who's a singer. I've got friends who work in like barbecue businesses. I put out a tweet the other day that I'd like to do cricket. I'd love to do basketball. Only this year I learned how to do night photography. Like anyone who's just go and shoot and just go and learn. You can make mistakes, but you know what? You only learn by making mistakes. So just go and pick up a camera, have some fun with it. It's expensive though.
Did you self-teach then?
Yeah, I literally sat there asking questions. If I saw a photographer that I knew and loved from online, and I do it a lot now. I'll go to a game like I was at Metrogas like a month ago, and a guy's come up to me, "You're Brownie," and I was like, "Sorry, do I know you?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm so and so." I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I've never seen you." Like he's like, "Oh, I know who you are," and it's mad. But yeah, I'm self-taught. If I want to learn something, I'll go on YouTube. Or if I'm having a hard time, like today, I'm really bad with Lightroom. I'm really good with Photoshop, but I'm bad with Lightroom, and it's really nice that a lot of the photographers that I do appreciate messaged me, dropped me lines and said, "Look, if you want to come online." But yeah, I'm self-taught. I wouldn't say my photography is great, but a lot of people tend to think it is. I'm not. And from working with another photographer like Ed, I see a whole different side, because Ed is completely different to me. All photographers are different, but Ed is a completely different photographer to me. And when I like collaborate with him, it's brilliant because his mind is brilliant, and it opens up, and then he's not afraid of the ideas that I have. And if something works better from me, he'll take it. If it works better from him, I'll happily take it. So, yeah, and it's the same in coaching. I'll be very honest as well. Like Cole listens to everyone, and the coaches that we have, Faddy and Anne, everyone's on the same page. So we could all disagree, but at the same time, we all see each other's views. But we also know as well that the bottom line is Cole. So if Cole will listen to you, if he thinks it's great, it's a good idea, he'll change it. If not, he'll say, "Look, this is why it's not happening," which is great. It's great to have a manager in a women's game who will listen to anyone. He's got so much time for the players as well. Not saying that like every player will run to him, some will run to me, or some will run to Faddy, or someone run to Ant. But we're all on the same page. And the minute one will message us, we'll let Cole know, and Cole will talk to them properly or tell us how he wants us to respond. It's great. Communication is key in everything. So it's in photography or in management or in sport. Just keep communicating. It's the best way to do it.
Well, thank you so much for taking your time to speak to us today. That's been really interesting to hear about everything that you've been doing. And yeah, thank you so much.
No worries.
Thank you.